Welcome, guys, back to the $100 million list by Alex Hormozi, and we are the section where he's talking about getting the most sales with with minimal effort, right? Because to be very very frank, there's a big difference between working in your business and working on your business. When you work when you work in your business, you're mostly engaging with some activities. But when you work on the business, you are looking for ways that your your time can be multiplied by as many factors as possible now, right? And then he brings in this idea called leverage. Although he brings in lead getters, people who would help you get leads or ways that you can get more lead that does not require just only your time, but the time of other people. And the whole thing is based on this concept of leverage. And the whole idea of leverage is the bigger your leverage, the more you can achieve. Hold on, please. Sorry. I think I'm reacting to the air conditioner. So the bigger the leverage, right, the more you can achieve. And he gives a very nice concept that says that somebody who is doing 1,000 times more than you're doing doesn't mean that he's working hard, does not mean that he's faster than you. What that means is that he's doing something different. And most of the time, they use leverage. Leverage is their secret. So jump into it, right? As you are a one-man business, there's only a limit you can achieve. You can't do well, yes, there's only a limit you can achieve as a one-man business. But now imagine what you can achieve, right? If you can multiply those your effort by 10,000. And then he does this thing by giving different approaches, right? Yeah. If you're the one working in your business, you're doing all of the leads, fulfilling the service and everything. What ends up happening is you have to work hard. The results are very, very low in terms of your leads, and you have zero leverage. So your effort is stuck with what you're doing. All that means is your inputs and your output are kind of like the same thing. Even if you are creating content, you are paying for ads, it's the same thing. Now imagine a situation where you have somebody who is called a lead getter. And if you're following my journey, you probably see that I have people who are generating leads and making the sale. Although we want to separate those two tasks very soon so that we work with speed. We want to focus on the lead getter getting the leads while the salespeople doing the outreach. So back to the conversation. Over here now, we now have another scenario where you have a lead getter. This is your little leverage. And this lead getter would help you go out there to get leads. Now, your workload has reduced. This is where you are beginning to work on the business. Your workload has reduced. The leads you're getting is still kind of low because there's still one person doing it. But if it is two of you, fine. But if it is two of you, it means you're still back to the same amount of work you were doing. But your work is lower. Your leads are still low. Your leverage, we are beginning to get the idea of leverage basically. Now, imagine where you have multiple lead getters. You have like 10, 20 of them, right? And what you get to say now is that your work has reduced drastically, right? It has reduced. You have a high amount of leads. Mind you, the workload has completely reduced, but it's the same workload you have if you had one getter, though, trust me. In short, it's even more work because you have to manage the entire team. Your workload has reduced. You have more leads because you have more people getting your leads for you, and you have a higher leverage. Now, imagine that you go a step further, or you work on your business, you go a step further, because the whole idea of running a business is at some point, the business gradually should become independent on its own, so that you can step aside from the business and the business runs by itself. You don't have to do certain things all by yourself. So, but this time around now, think about it. You end up getting somebody who helps you to get leads. So you end up getting somebody who helps you to get lead getters. So you get somebody. This person's job is to get other people who would help you get other people to buy for you. You get the point. So hiring a lead getter to help you get other lead getters. And not the second lead getters are to help you get the actual leads. You have less work. You have an insane amount of leads, and that's the highest leverage you can achieve. So, and it says that the reason he didn't bring this into the idea of the core four activities is because you don't do lead getting. You don't do lead getters rather. These are not things that you do because they're not really, really within your control, right? These four activities, which is the creating content, warm outreach, cold outreach, and paid ads, these are activities that people do. They are within your control in terms of action. So with these four activities, you give them to lead getters. These lead getters go ahead to achieve that, to do those core activities. And I like this approach because something that you should know about Alex Hormozi is that he has a systematic way of approaching everything. Because in this idea of lead getters, he also pointed out 4 ways you can get lead getters. And those 4 ways, if you look at them very well, they're kind of coordinated to have people who know you and people who don't know you. So think about it. It's like the warm audience you're selling to. This amount, you have your warm lead getters. Then you have your cold audience. You also have your cold lead getters. So what makes it smart is that you also take this approach of, okay, go for the people who know you first, make them lead getters. To the next set of people, make them lead getters. So other people. So it's just insane. So the first set of people that you come in contact with in your business are most likely your customers, right? So you can turn your customers into lead getters. And this is where word of mouth comes in. This is where referral comes in, where if they like your service, if they love your service, they can go out there and refer it to other people. I say, oh, I really love the way this guy's business, the way this guy handled my service. I love the value he provided. And before you know it, you're scaling fast. And trust me, this is the best. Any business that can achieve word of mouth is potentially going to outcompete everyone, because word of mouth comes from having quality service, giving the best value. And apart from that, there are other factors to consider, but the point is, if you can establish a business that has a lot of word of mouth, people are referring that business, then you're onto a path that the competitors cannot compete with, because in the very end, right, we trust the words of our friends. So imagine your service is so good, a customer is telling his friend about the service. Trust me, you don't need much convincing, and you get that compounding effect over and over again. So that's the point of employees, customers, which are your first set of contact people, because they're the first people you reached out to in the first place. The second group, people that you know, but you bring them on later, are employees. You employ them to help you get leads. Well, this is what I'm currently doing in my startup. If you're following that journey, I'm about to step out for MMA training right now, so I really don't have that time for that. So I wouldn't have time for the early morning meeting, so I pushed the meeting to about 12-ish. I want them to sort out all of the leads, and then from there, I think today we'll start some form of outreach, even though it's emails or SMSs. I'll get back to you on that. Then the third part, which is people you don't know yet, right? You don't know them yet, but you can talk to them. They're agencies. Agencies are companies that you hire to help you get leads. You can hire them to create content for you. You can hire them to run ads for you. You can even hire them to make call services, to call on your behalf. And I'm still yet to understand, but it's quite interesting that I'm just realizing that there's a market for cold calling. What that means is that if you can have a cold calling agency, there's a market for it. And I did not realize this until of recent times. It's something that I'm considering to explore, but just like I said, by the side, I have to just be open to options while I'm building my products. Because I'm also considering some services, and maybe this might be involved if we get to get some things right. And speaking of employees, where I'm training my current people now, I'm thinking of a situation where if I get good at training these people in sales, we can create packages to train other companies on how they can train their own staff. At the same time, get like this cold calling service. Last, by the way, I just had this idea in my head. And the last part is affiliates, where you pay other businesses to drive their audiences to your products. So for example, maybe you're in weight loss, you're in a fitness journey, and you partner, and then you meet somebody who is probably we sell supplements, and you probably meet somebody who is into fitness. They can sell your products to their audience, and then they get a commission from it. So you're relying on other business to bring their customers, to affiliate their customers with your products. So all of this 4 work, and then I'll be breaking them down maybe one a day, because trust me, the one for the customers, that is getting customer referrals. is a lot, and it's super interesting. Something that you would not want to miss. So I guess I'm almost, so I say, ready to go to the gym. I'm supposed to meet with him in about an hour, but I need to do like some of my personal workouts before he gets to the gym. So that's it. This is just the introduction into getting people who get leads on your behalf, where you can multiply your efforts. And this is where you begin to work on the business, not work in the business. So thank you very much. Talk to you soon. Let me know if there's anything you want me to touch on. Maybe right before I start this new section. So, yeah, and by the way, I'm thinking of the next book to check out, because I'm not really a fan of over entertainment. I just look for things that are practical to my goals. And for some strange reasons, I'm currently considering summarizing this book by Stephen Bartlett, 33 Laws of Business. Diary of a CEO. Stephen Bartlett, Diary of a CEO. Someone carried my book. To be very, I don't like this idea of people coming to pick up my books. It's okay. I've gotten that it's arranged alphabetically. Yep, someone has carried my books. I really don't like this thing. Yep, someone's carried my book. I gave it. No. Oh, nobody carried it. I remember what happened to the book. So the book is packed with a lot of psychology and a lot of business, customer-centric, related psychology. So I asked my content creator to open that book, dissect that book, and look for tips that business owners can get. So if you probably paid attention to my stand-up meeting after my MMA yesterday, you get to realize that I told you how to read this book, Diary of a CEO. By Stephen Bartlett. I'm not entirely sure of what the title is, but how to do 33 laws of 33 laws, blah, blah, blah. So I read this myself. I was able to get some content out of it. I'm telling you how to read it so that from that frame of trying to teach business owners something, she can give them something, she can teach them along those lines, topics, psychology from that book. So that's it. Thank you very much. I need to head to the gym now. And then this AC is freezing. So the reason the AC is on is because I'm using my laptop to compress all of these files. Mind you, if not, storage will be insane. I went from using 1.5 terabytes for all of this to compressing to about 200 to 300 terabytes. So this is what it is. I know there's a lot of videos to put out there, but if I'm enjoying it, why not? So talk to you soon, and bye for now.